Okay, students, in the yesterday's class, we have discussed, or rather, we have revised some part of our chapter, that is French Revolution. And we have discussed about the topic how France becomes a constitutional monarchy. Okay, then comes some of the political symbols were given. So these symbols are very important for 1 mark question. So in this broken chains, that symbol is given. That means broken chain stands for the act of becoming free. The chains are broken. That means that someone is becoming free. Then the bundle of rods or faces, that is one road that can be easily broken but not in an entire bundle. So it symbolizes the strength lies in unity. So this bundle of rods, that is symbolizing the strength lies in unity. Then the eye within a triangle, the eye within a triangle radiating light. That means the all seeing, the eye stands for knowledge. The all seeing, the eye stands for knowledge. Then the scepter symbol for royal power. Then one more symbol is given, a red cap. A red cap, if someone is wearing, that means the slave has become free. Then the national color of France, that was also given, blue, white and red. These were the three colors of that France, the national colors, that is blue, white and red. Then comes the wings women, that indicates personification of the law. Then the law tablet, the law is the same for all and all are equal before it. Then comes next topic, France abolishes monarchy and becomes a republic. How uh, in the France the monarchy system was abolished and France has become a republic. So this is one story, the very important story, that you listen very carefully. See, situation in France that continued to be very tense during the following years when the France became constitutional monarchy. So although King Louis XVI, he had signed the constitution, but at the same time he entered into a secret negotiation with the King of Prussia. The King of Prussia, he had one secret negotiation, and the rulers of other neighboring countries, they were too worried about development in France and made plans to send the troops to put down the events that had been taken place in France. So whatever happened in France, the neighboring countries, they were very much worried, and the King Louis XVI, as secretly he has made one negotiation with the King of Prussia. So they were planning to send the troops to France to put down the events, whatever had happened in France during the summer of 1789. So before this could happen, before the neighboring country, as they planned to send the troops, before this could happen, National Assembly voted in April 1792 to declare a war against Prussia and Austria. So National Assembly, they have declared a war against Prussia and Austria. Thousands of volunteers, they started they started to join the army. They saw this war of people against the king and aristocracies all over the Europe. So the people they have seen that how there was a war between the people and against the king. So that was a you can say unusual war. Among the patriotic songs they sung, that was Martialize. During that during that war, people or so many patriotic songs were sung to motivate or to create a national feeling in the mind of people. So many were sung, but one that patriotic song was very famous, that was given the name Martialize. That was composed by a famous poet Rosette de Lisle. It was sung for the first time by volunteers from Marseille as they marched to Paris, and when they got its name, Marseille. Later on, this Marseille patriotic song became the national anthem of France. Then, these activities, revolutionary activities that were going to be prolonged for more time. So in that way, people they were planning for everyday events during the night, and next day they were fighting the war against their neighboring country. So for that purpose, people they have made many clubs. In that, there was a famous club that was given the name Jacobin Club. So that was the famous club made to discuss about the strategies and planning for the war. And that particular club that was given the name for its former convent of Saint Jacob in Paris. Women too, they had also taken the active participation in that war. That we will see in the next segment, how the women they have participated in the war. Then members of Jacobin Club that belong to mainly the less prosperous section of the society. So all the maximum members of Jacobin Club, they were less prosperous section of society. In that, small shopkeepers, artisans, then shoemakers, pastry makers, cooks, then watchmakers, printers, as well as servants and daily wages workers. These were the less prosperous people were there in the Jacobin Club. So their leader was Maximilian Robespierre. This is also very important one mark question. Who was the leader of that Jacobin Club? That was Maximilian Robespierre. A large group among the Jacobins, they decided to wear the long strip trousers similar to those who wore that was worn by dock workers. So they were even wearing a special uniform that we can say long trouser, or that were having strips. So these type of trouser, they were different from the people who were wearing knee breeches. And with this type of you can say special uniform, they were better known as sans culottes. They were, or Jacobin members, they were better known as sans culottes during that time. Literally meaning of this sans culottes, that is the people those who are without knee breeches, means people they were wearing earlier like a half pant type. So without these knee breeches, those who are wearing this type of uniform, they were known as sans culottes. Okay. Then what happened in summer 1792? In the month of summer 1792, Jacobin planned that one insurrection of large number of that Parisians who were angered by the short supply and high prices of food at that time. So what they have planned in the summer months of 1792, they have just planned to attack or they want to take the revenge of the situation about which the king was responsible. So on the morning of August 10, they stormed at the palace of Tuileries. That and they have massacred the king guards and held the king himself as a hostess for several hours. So what they have done on the morning of August 10, they stormed into the palace and they have massacred, they have killed the king guards and they arrested the king and they made him as a hostess for several hours. Later the assembly voted to imprison the royal family also. So later on, they have arrested the royal family and elections were held. Now, all the men of 21 years and above, regardless of wealth, got the right to vote in 1792. Yes. Now, the newly elected assembly that was called convention. So after that elections, new assembly that was elected and that was known as that convention. On 21st September 1792, this convention abolished the monarchy and declared France as a republic country. So this new assembly that was known as convention on 21st September 1792, it abolished the monarchy and that time France declared as a republic country. So in the republic country, what is the system? The elected or the rulers are through elections only. So in this way also, in the republic country, the heads were elected persons. There was no hereditary system like monarchy system. So in that case, France became a republic country and Louis XVI that was sentenced to death by a court in charge of treason. So after that, Louis XVI, he was sentenced to death by a court on the charge of treason. Treason means any act against the country. That is, in Hindi we can say Deshdroh. So on 21st January 1793, he was executed publicly at the Palais de la Concorde. The Queen Marie Antoinette also met with the same fate shortly after the execution of the King Louis XVI. So this was the end of King Louis XVI and the Queen Marie Antoinette. Then there was a special period that was known as Reign of Terror, and that period was of Maximilien Robespierre. The period from 1793 to 1794, that is referred as the Reign of Terror. What happened in that? Robespierre followed a policy of severe control and punishment in France during his reign. All those who he saw as being enemy of republic, let it be ex-nobles, clergy, members of other political parties, and even members of his own party who did not agree with his methods. They were arrested, imprisoned, and then tried by a revolutionary tribunal. And if court found them guilty, then they were guillotined. They were guillotined means they were given the punishment in that particular instrument or device they have made as a guillotine that was consisting of two poles and a blade with which a person that was beheaded. That means in that particular guillotine device, the head of any person that was beheaded. This was the punishment given by Maximilien Robespierre if anyone found guilty by the tribunal court. So this device guillotine, that was given the name after Dr. Guillotine, who invented it. Then Robespierre government issued many laws placing maximum ceiling on wages and prices. So these were the policies that were made by Maximilien Robespierre during his reign. First one was the ceiling was put on wages and prices. Second one, meat and bread. Meat and bread were rationed. Then peasants were forced to sell their food grains in a particular market and at a particular prices fixed by the government. The uses of more expensive wheat flour, that was forbidden. Use of that more expensive white flour, that was forbidden. All the citizens were used to eat the plain d'égalité, that is equality bread, that is a loaf made up of whole wheat. That was a special, you can say, grain flour that was allowed to eat by normal citizens. Then equality was also sought to be practiced through forms of speech and addresses. That means equality that was also maintained during his reign. Instead of traditional, that is sir and madam, mostly people were using sir and madam. So what he has made in that way, all the French men and women were called by citoyen and citoyenne. What is the meaning of citoyen and citoyenne? That is, as a citizen. All will be called as a citizen, not even sir and madam. Churches were shut down and their buildings were converted into barracks and offices. So these were the policies that were made by Robespierre government during his reign. So Robespierre pursued his policies so relentlessly that even his supporters began to demand modernization. So these policies were so painful for his own people. So they also start demanding modernization. Finally, he was convicted by a court in July 1794 and arrested in that case, and on the next day itself he was sent to guillotine. That means same treatment he got whatever he has given to others. Then after the end of Robespierre government, there was another system followed in France. What was the system? And that is known as directory rule in France. Or there was another system that was known as directory rule. The fall of Jacobin government allowed the wealthier people to seize the power. See, you know that all the maximum or all the members that were of less prosper members in the society. So when there was a fall of Jacobin government, then wealthier people they have seized the power in France. A new constitution was introduced which denied the vote to non-proprietized section of the society. So there was again a system that was started in France, that voting rights were given to even non-proprietized section of the society. All the people having the age of 21 years, irrespective of wealth, they were given the voting right by the new assembly made convention. So now again after the fall of Jacobin government, the same system as earlier they have started. So it provided for the two elected legislative councils. What they have provided, that there were two elected legislative council, then these appointed a directory system, an executive made up of 5 members. So they have appointed one directory having 5 members in that. This was meant as a safeguard against the concentration of power in a single hand executive under the Jacobin. However, However, the directors often clashed with the legislative council. The directory, newly made directory, they were having the clash frequently with the legislative council, who then sought to dismiss them. What they were, that council or legislative council people, they were thinking that we should dismiss them, that all the members, those who are newly made by in the directory system. Then political instability of this directory rule, that paved the way for the rise of a military dictator named as Napoleon Bonaparte. That means there was a instability created because of directory rule. So this paved a way for the rise of a military dictator, that is Napoleon Bonaparte. Then that we will see what happened after that. But before that, one more topic is there. Did women have a revolution in that particular France? No doubt. Women, they have the active participation in many events, and that we have seen in the French society. So when the third estate people, they were busy in making the constitution, all the women, they were just doing their work at home. They were looking after their children. Even they were doing some odd jobs or odd works to earn the money. They were sending, they were selling that flowers. Some were sending, selling the fruits. Some were selling the vegetables in the market. So many domestic works they were doing to earn the money to fill the stomach of their members or their family members. Then other than that, women, they have made so many clubs also for making the strategies during that revolution. And we should not forget that in one of the event we have seen that how the women, they were making a queue to buy the that bread in the market, by even carrying the children in their laps. Okay. Then in that we have seen that during some period of the reign of different rulers, women and even girls, they were having some sort of relaxation by providing the education system and so many freedom to girls and women, especially if we talk about during the time of that Maximilian Robespierre. So during the time of Maximilian Robespierre, no doubt the women struggle that getting the equal political rights. They have agitated many times, and even they have continued in the reign of terror also. At that time, their demand that were not accepted, and many women, they were put in jail, and many women, they were executed also. So this was the condition, or we can say this was the participation of women in the revolution. Then in the another topic, there was a abolition of slavery system in France. So this was the, again, inhuman activity that was started in France as well as in many countries. So this is one of the most revolutionary social reforms of Jacobin regime, that was the abolition of slavery in French colonies. So this slavery system that was continued since ancient period, and in that France also it was continued. But this abolition of slavery system, that was done by Jacobin government. What was there in that colonies in the Caribbean, that is Martinique, that is Guadeloupe and Saint Domingo. These were the important, you can say, colonies where there was a important supply of commodities such as tobacco, indigo, sugar and coffee that was there from these colonies to France. But there was a problem in that that working force that was quite less in these type of colonies. So people were very reluctant, especially from the European countries, to go in these colonies and work in distant and unfamiliar land. So there was a shortage of labor in that case. So this type of labor that was provided by a triangular slave trade between Europe, Africa and Americas. So this type of labor or these type of slaves were provided by a triangular slave trade between Europe, Africa and America. So the slave trade began in the 17th century itself. French merchants, they were selling from the port like Bordeaux and nets to the African coast, where they were buying slaves from the local chieftains. They were that merchants were selling for African countries, and from there they were buying the slave from local chieftains. Then they were the slaves were packed in the, you can say, ships, and after a 3 month long voyage they were reaching to Atlantic Ocean and then to Caribbean seas, and then they were selling these slaves to plantations owners. So this was the system of slavery that was quite active in France at that time. So this type of exploitation of slaves that was done in these countries, not only in France, in many European countries also, because there from there they were getting sugar, coffee, indigo. So these were the very important commodities of that time. So throughout the 18th century, this was, or there was a little criticism of slavery in France, but even National Assembly, they could not abolish, because rich people or many businessmen, they were having this business, so they could not abolish it. Finally, this was abolished by Jacobin government during his reign, that is in 1793 to 1794. Then, however, this was again started by Napoleon when his reign started, and finally this slavery system that was abolished in 1948. Okay, then what happened next? In the next topic, the revolution and everyday life. See, after revolution, the life of people that was quite changed. Many changes that occur, especially if we talk about, there was a ban removed from media after revolution. That's one sort of censorship, the abolition of censorship, that was uh, a very important step taken after the revolution by that government. So in that, there was a flood. There was a flood that was seen in the market. The market was full of books, newspapers, plays. So people they have started reading many books, and their mind that was quite changed before the or after the revolution. Clear? So no doubt, if any revolution is occurring in any country, these lot of changes are coming. So here also in France, everyday life that was changed after the revolution. Then what happened? In 1804, Napoleon Bonaparte, he crowned himself the Emperor of France. So that was the time of the instability that was created in France because of directory rule. So this benefit, Napoleon Bonaparte, he has taken. That was the situation in France. So in 1804, Napoleon Bonaparte, he crowned himself the Emperor of France. He set out to conquer neighboring European country, dispossessing dynasties and creating kingdoms where he placed many members of his family. So he was Napoleon. He was very ambitious ruler. He was just very ambitious to increase the territory of his country. The same thing he has done in France after taking over as a emperor in 1804. Napoleon, he was better known as a modernizer of Europe. Despite he was a dictator, but he has done a lot of uh, welfare work in uh, many countries in Europe. He introduced many laws such as protection of private property and a uniform system of weight and measurement he provided in France. And even he provided decimal system also. Initially, many saw Napoleon as a liberator, but he was better proved as a modernizer also in European country. So finally, what was the scene at the end? Napoleon Bonaparte finally he was defeated at Waterloo in 1815, and many of his measures that were carried by the revolutionary ideas of liberty and modern laws that to other part of Europe, that had many impact on the people after his departure. So Napoleon, he was defeated in 1815 at the Battle of Waterloo. So that was the end of even Napoleon Bonaparte from the France. So these many things that were remembered by many people in many countries, and in our country also, Tipu Sultan and Raja Ram Mohan Roy. These were the two examples of individual who responded to the ideas that is coming from revolutionary France. That means Tipu Sultan and Raja Ram Mohan Roy, they have followed the many ideas of Napoleon Bonaparte, as well as whatever the things that happened in France as a revolutionary action that were followed by these rulers. So this is all about the French Revolution. Now in the next revision part we will see the Russian Revolution also. So now enough for today. You can leave the meeting. Thank you very much. God bless you.